YourBookMyBook.com is sponsored by the Window Man of Lancaster. Call us today at 1-800-654-9583 for a free consultation. You can also visit us at www.windowmanoflancaster.com. Windows, doors, siding, and patio rooms, where our customers expect the best, and that's what we deliver.
Hello and welcome to YourBookMyBook.com webcast interview. Today we are with Brenda Nixon, author of Beyond Buggies and Bonnets. Thank you for being with YourBookMyBook.com, Brenda.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am married, and my husband and I have raised 2 daughters. We now have a son-in-law added to the family. I have also adopted, so to speak, 2 former Amish who call me Mom, and we live here in Ohio, which has the largest number of Amish settlements nationwide.
Tell our listeners about your book.
Okay. Well, I have a background in training in education, but I have been writing since 1996. And this book that I wrote is actually stories of those who have left the Amish, and most of them are from the very strictest order called Schwarzentuber order. They're almost reclusive, actually. But those who have left, I have taken them in and helped them in various ways. Some just needed a meal. Some just needed a mom's hug. And some of them actually lived with me, and I helped them adjust from the Amish life to the English life. And to the Amish, if you're not Amish, you're English. It's just as simple as that, black and white.
Why do you take in former Amish?
Like it was the Christian thing to do. I heard about a few who had left, and they didn't really have any place to go. They didn't have any clothing or anyone to kind of assist them, walk alongside them, and help them. So I just responded and said, well, I can help you. And it might have just been with a little bit of food. It might have been transportation, helping them get a job, helping them get a Social Security number, or, just very involved, such as having some of them live with me because they had no place to live until they got a job and could get on their feet and get independent.
You mentioned helping Amish obtain Social Security numbers. Why don't they have them?
A lot of Amish do home births, and it's really up to the parents then if it's a home delivery, if they will fill out the Social Security information. And in the case of a couple of them that I know, they had a home birth, and the parents just didn't bother to fill out a birth certificate and get them a Social Security number. So after they had left and then I met them, I assisted them in getting that information to help them be successful in living in our world.
What are things that you've learned from the Amish culture?
Probably the first thing I learned is that it's extremely diverse. There are many, many different types of Amish. I think there's like a documented 40 different orders of Amish, and each has their own bishop, their own belief system, their own behaviors, and there's just so much diversity. If a person says, well, I drive the Amish, so I know what they're like, that's not real accurate because that's only who you know. If somebody says, well, I live in a neighborhood where I have a lot of Amish close by, or I see them all the time at the market, still, that doesn't say they're all the same. They're not like the ones you know. So each person has a different experience with Amish who may be from a different order. So that's one big thing I learned. And then I also learned that they're a lot just like anybody else. They have problems. They have difficulties. There's times when married couples have problems. They're just like anybody else, even though we sometimes want to surround them with a lot of romanticism and idealism. And then the other thing I've learned is that they are, in fact, an American subculture. They do have their own behaviors, their own belief system. They're born into it, and they are expected to live join the Amish church, marry, and die Amish. So they really have their own mindset and cultural difference. And, they are their own culture. And that's kind of the way, I respect them and see them.
Where did the Amish culture originate?
That's a good question. The Amish actually originated during the rise of the Anabaptists in Europe. And the Anabaptists was a result of the Christian Reformation. And a gentleman by the name of Menno Simmons eventually became a little disgruntled with the Anabaptists, and he left. Those who followed him were called Mennonites. And then many, many years later, there was another Anabaptist who became a little bit frustrated with the Anabaptist movement, and his name was Jacob Amen. And Jacob Amen left, and he had some very different views and held to some different principles, but his followers became known as the Amish. And then eventually they came over to the United States, and I think they first settled in Pennsylvania.
Where can our audience buy your book and connect with you?
Okay, my book is called Beyond Buggies and Bonnets. It's 7 true stories of former Amish. And the title is like a double entendre. I want people to think of Amish as more than just buggies and bonnets. They are richly, deeply more than just, buggies and bonnets. But it also means those who have gone beyond their buggies and bonnets to leave and join the English world. And the book is available in Kindle and paperback on Amazon, or people can also order it from my blog, which is Brenda Nixon on Amish at blogspot.com. And I have a picture and information about the book even on my blog that they can order it, and they can also read some posts that I write about every 2 weeks.
Thank you for stopping by yourbookmybook.com, Brenda.
You're welcome. I enjoyed it.